All right, what's up, guys? This is Eddie over here at EKG Racing. As you clicked on the video, this is going to be a race recap of the first race of this season, which was Vernal Dinosaur Dash 2026. Yeah, there were some highs, and then there were some real lows in this race. Started off with lows, and then it went to highs. So we'll give you a nice glimpse of a recap on that, along with just kind of going over pretty much first race of the year, along with my first race I ever finished. So, bravo, congrats to me and my father, and the whole race team of EKG Racing. Also, got to give a huge thanks to Fire Guys Racing on that one. They helped out a lot to help us get there as well. And without further ado, here you go. All right, and today's video is sponsored today, and also our partner for the 2026 season is going to be Growth Coach. Chris and Shiloh over at Growth Coach are amazing people. If you have goals where you want to achieve a little bit of these, maybe some big ones of these, those are your people to go and talk with. And even if you're trying to go on a journey of weight loss or just be able to bulk up and get some more muscle mass because you don't like the way your body looks, hence me, always been this skinny. I'd love to be bigger, but right now my body doesn't like me, but I'm also lazy. So, but if you guys have any of those goals in mind and you want to actually have a personal trainer that cares about you and has physical motivation to help you achieve your goals, these are people to go and talk with. They're amazing. They're here locally here in Grand Junction, and they're honestly just really great people. And if that's what you're looking for and what you're striving for to achieve in your life, then I'd honestly recommend going and talking with these guys. What's up, guys? I'm back after you guys just got done watching the whole montage of the pre-run, the race, photos and pictures of the race, me launching the truck also, by the way. The truck got about 10 feet of air. That was pretty cool. That happened in the last lap. But just to kind of kick things off, this race was kind of a big learning curve for me. It was also the first race that we finished. Also the first race I've ever podiumed in. Hence, ta-da! So, we got third place in Pro Truck and Limited. It was a very hard-fought third place. Almost never happened. To go into details about that, me and my wife, as you saw in some of the pre-run clips, we apologize greatly that those are a little up and down, side to side, all over the place. We don't have the proper gear to hold a camera, and this truck bounces a lot, so yeah, so we apologize for that. But during the pre-run, which this truck has never done it till literally the day before the race, ironically, but die. Just randomly shut off. Kill all power, whole nine. Katie never touched anything. I never touched anything. We were literally going 25 miles an hour. Never experienced this at all during testing all of last week or any time at all. We never touched any of the wiring this go around on the truck. So it kind of caught us off guard. Pre-run, we finished the full lap, and when we got there, Bora told us that they made a couple of changes due to BLM restrictions that they didn't want us to do, which is one of the road crossings that they had on the course. They just got it chip sealed, so they didn't want us tearing it up, so they had to change up that area. And then I believe, if I remember right, the town of Vernal didn't want to shut down the track for the motocross guys, so they wanted to keep that open, so they had to reroute it a little bit. And so they just recommended us doing a pre-run on the course and having a live stream on our GPSs to have the whole course mapped out instead of taking their course that they already mapped out for us. So that's what we did, and the truck died, I want to say, give or take, probably 3 times, 4 times maybe. And the most inconvenient spots, ironically. One was in a ditch. One was in, I want to say, lap traffic, but it wasn't really lap traffic because we were all going 25 mile an hour. A couple other random times. So we got back to the pits on that, and then I told my dad what we had going on. I said it wasn't a good pre-run, everything else like that. I said I enjoy the course, but the truck's not right now. We got to get this fixed. And one thing we did, or that I did, that I could think of was when I had the truck tuned originally, I had the main power wires to the Holly to our kill switch. And what was going on was when my tuner implemented his new tune, the good tune for the truck, you kill the truck, whole nine, and go do about your business, it would default back to our old tune. And what I needed to do there was basically take those main power wires and put them directly to the battery. And why it is that way is because those main power wires, they're more of a memory storage place for the Holly. It's not more of just, oh my God, the Holly's going to still constantly receive power. Your engine's not going to shut off. No, that's not the case. It needs to see those main power wires to keep your memory stored. Otherwise, it'll default back to when you first set up the truck. And that's what I had going on. So I took those wires off our kill switch, put them all the way back to our main battery. And that's what I initially thought what was going on. And part of that issue was true. We have a Ford solenoid in this truck, starter solenoid, and our main hot wire, not a ground wire, was on that. So I had to take off this Ford solenoid because we had a few other wires connected to it. And I initially thought I tightened that all the way, and it wasn't. And so we got that all tightened and whatnot, and we thought it was good. We thought that was the issue because that was literally, it was loose. I mean, you could just do this the whole time, and it was intermittently getting contact. And so we're like, perfect, we found the issue. Not the case. On race day, ironically, I was the first one off the line, people. Imagine that. Loved it. Not really so much. I kind of embarrassed myself. I didn't even make it about 50 feet and the truck died. You can even ask my wife. It's pretty embarrassing to watch. We will not include that footage, by the way. Okay.
Yes, we will. that's all I have to say about that.
I was embarrassed. Me and Dad were frantically freaking out. We managed to get the truck started back up because it was 45-second intervals till next vehicle came off the line. We made it about 50 feet, truck died, and then we made it about another 50 feet, and then the truck died. And so we were pretty much in frantic mode. And we're like, and this was race day, by the way, guys. So we went in frantic mode. We started checking all the wiring. We literally had, also, sorry, to pause the conversation, look at the beautiful wrap we have. Sorry, guys, you never saw this yet. So this is what NC Auto did for us. Looks beautiful. I love it. I'm ecstatic. Thank you, NC Auto, for us. Anyways, back to the show. So we had limited tools. I kind of wasn't prepared on that aspect. But we had to run to the pit real quick because we were literally probably like 100 yards from the pit at this time. So we had to run to the pit real quick. We got a flathead screwdriver and we had the whole dash inside right here torn apart. And we just started checking wires nonstop, whether it was a ground, whether it was a power wire, whole nine. And we just finally started feeling what was getting hot because it felt like something was getting too hot to a point to where it was getting no more contact. And finally we found it, and we're gonna fix this for the next race. But my main ignition wire, which was this one right here, which is like itty bitty, probably 12 gauge wire right here. This wire was being loaded by my Holly, my intercoms, my Parker pumper, the GPS, the backup camera, whole nine. And all these take a significant amount of load. And the biggest one being the GPS and my Parker pumper, because the Holly kind of runs off of the main power by the batteries and whatnot. And so, and we were getting 13.5 volts. So we knew we didn't really have an alternator issue. We knew we had something else going on. Because when everything's not loaded on and it's just the headlights on when you're driving the truck, it's at 14 volts. We knew that it would significantly climb down more when we had everything fully loaded on it, and we knew something was happening. If you felt this wire that she just showed you again, you couldn't even touch this wire. You could, and what happened was up here, which we're going to loom this. It's kind of a mistake on our part. We didn't really wire loom it, and this is tin metal here, and it rubbed through right there. It was grounding out, and it basically caused this wire to receive a ground out signal, and it didn't happen until the race. And this was getting significantly hot. We tried fixing it right over there, separating that wire, and then wrapping it. The truck wouldn't stay running. It would continuously die. So at that point, we knew that we had too much of a load on a small wire. And so we went back to the pits, finally got the truck limped over back to the pits. We're not DNF'd around this point. We thought about DNFing because we didn't know if we could even get the truck to stay running anymore. And this is about an hour past start. So there was one pro truck, old pro truck, Ivan Stewart pro truck, and a trophy truck that are already on their second lap. And this is a 7-lap race. So we managed to find some either 10 or 8 gauge wire in the pits, significantly thicker, and we just decided to overlay it over there, and finally that fixed our issue. We got back on the road finally, and so we started boogieing through, making up some decent time. Through about lap 4, it died one more time on us, and at this point we knew that let's try to start killing some things. We know it's getting hot. It's overloading this circuit breaker, which is circuit breaker we think is too low of an amperage. We need to pump it up some more, like a 50 amp instead of a 30 amp, because I believe it's a 30 amp right now. And so it would get hot, blow it, and we're literally 4 laps in, and we had 3 more to go. And so we're like, okay, well, if it can make it another 4 laps, we can just kill some things that we don't need anymore. And one of the things that we decided to kill was I pretty much turned down the Parker pumper all the way to like 0 or setting 1, which you're barely getting anything in there. So I've had to basically just so I could see, crack my helmet a little bit so I could still get fresh air in there, and my lens wasn't getting foggy, which that helped significantly. And then lap 6, it died one more time. And so after that, we decided, well, we'll just kill the GPS. And at that point, we already knew what the course was like. We knew all the turns and everything else like that. And Boar did a phenomenal job at marking the course. So we kind of knew, like, okay, we got to turn here, we got to turn here. There was a big old down arrow. You knew you had it pretty much an oh crap ditch. Like, you better slow down and check up on it. Otherwise, you're going to knock off your complete front end. That managed to get us by all the way to the finish, and got my first nerf. That was interesting to deal, because this truck's not as fast as a lot of the competition we had out there, like the 10 cars, the pro truck, and then there was also a trophy truck there and a couple of older class 1 buggies. They have so much more suspension technology than I do. This is pretty much your basic 1450 truck. It's linked and it's got a typical long travel kit on the front, and then coilovers and bypasses. So I got suspension technology, I just don't got the capability of it going as fast as they do. There's a couple sections on the course that we hit roughly about 70 mile an hour. And that was just turning into third, and just a big long straight, and then finally I had to shut it down. Learned a lot in just purposes of racing, because last year I only made it about 2.5 laps. This race we did a full race, and we actually podiumed and finished. I learned a lot about the truck, and I learned a lot of things I want to change in the future for the truck. It felt good to be able to actually finish a race this time. It almost felt like a redemption on my end to be able to actually make our sponsors happy, but also to fulfill my heart and actually being able to finish a race for once in my life, and not let myself down and our team down and everything else down. It was a very rewarding moment. I will say this, getting nerfed isn't the funnest thing in the world. It kind of hurts a little bit, but we couldn't see. Like, there was a class 1 buggy behind me, and then there was a 10 car, and a 10 car is what nerfed me, and you couldn't see. It was just a big old dust bowl. And the reason why was I was coming up for checking up on a ditch, and nobody could see. I didn't see him, and ultimately I just had to move out of the way. I got nerfed, and I was in their way, so I just moved out of their way. So I built an awesome bumper because it didn't even take any damage. Just got this a little bit of a bent to it, but other than that, it's perfect, phenomenal. And then overall, just it was fun just to be able to open up the truck for what it's actually built for. The truck's meant to go fast in a desert. There's a lot of courses out there, like this next upcoming one, where Junction Jam, where this truck's not going to be able to open up a whole lot, which is here in our hometown. That course is very hills and valleys. This course is pretty much wide open. It's got some whoops, it's got a few good jumps, and other than that, you're pretty much going balls to the wall, having some fun, and it felt awesome to be able to get this truck to open up for once in its life. And just to kind of go over some other things that need to be addressed that I'll be fixing here per Junction Jam, and also in the future coming up. I need to get my exhaust fixed because this decided to break off. And what the other thing why we're gonna fix this is me and my dad think with it being up here is part of the reason why we couldn't hear any of the sirens, and the reason why I got nerfed. I probably could have prevented that a lot sooner if I was able to hear their horns and sirens. So what we're probably going to end up doing is taking this exhaust, going down, and having a fender exit somewhere in here, or just kind of carrying it back a little bit more. And what that'll be able to do is not have that exhaust just right here in your head, and just because we were constantly within the 4,000 to 5,000 RPM this whole race. We need to fix that, need to address that. And then hopefully around that time I'll have a proper jack mount. This worked just fine having the ratchet straps, but we need to have a proper one regardless. And then also, to go back here, what we got going on, my fuel cell ultimately is way too low. I managed to pelt a rock of some sort somewhere, don't know where, but it's got a big old crater in the bottom of it. So I need to fix that, and then need to address a new spare tire mount. As you can see, it kind of got ripped off. Which, by the way, this stayed on for all 7 laps. So And I didn't notice it till we were loading it up on the truck, and it was hanging on by literally a thread. So, and what I think what we're going to do in the future is I'm going to relocate this fuel cell probably back up behind the cab. Reason being is just it keeps it out of the rocks and everything else like that, so we're not dragging the whole bottom end of it. Like if we're coming into a ditch or a big whoop section, it's not just bouncing like this. Other than that, I am pretty proud of us as a race team in general, because we were this close to DNFing in the race because we didn't know if we could be able to fix the issue what we had going on. But me and my dad and Katie and everybody, we kind of all persevered, and we just pushed for it to see if we could get the truck going, and we did. And it felt good to be able to just have that happen, and being able to actually show that we finished, and we actually ended up taking third for the race. So we got Junction Jam coming up next, which is in about a month from now, and we got a little bit of a long road ahead of us, but we'll get there. So thank you guys for tuning into the video, and till next time.